Welcome to Casual Kill Teams, Adeptus Astartes edition. Specifically, we're going to look at the Space Marine Tactical Squad box. So, factor number one, cost. Looked these guys up on Amazon this afternoon, $34. And for $34, you get to build 10 minis. All right, number two, ease of build and building options. So these guys were a ton of fun to build, and it was actually pretty interesting. When you look at your kill team, battle forged kill team for your match play or your narrative play, and usually we're gonna talk narrative play, you can only have, if you're doing tactical marines, you can have one sergeant, you can have two gunners, and then the rest of your dudes. But on your roster, when you start a campaign, you can have 12 guys, and you can have duplicate types, duplicate specialists, whatever you want. So you can actually have more guys than what you can build, and you get a lot of options. When we built our guys, we actually built two sergeants right here. You can tell because I did them ultramarine, so they have the red helmets. All right, and then we also did three gunners. So here's a flamer, melt gun, and the rocket launcher guy. And then we did the rest of them just as regular tactical marines. But that's just because of the choices we made. We actually built this guy wrong. He shouldn't have the chainsword and the auspex. We could have built a third guy and gave him a combi. With the gunners, we used the flamer and we used the meltagun, but we could have also built another guy with the grav gun, and we could have built another guy with a plasma cannon, the plasma rifle, whatever. You could do whatever you want. So you get a lot of options, and you can just kind of put it together the way that you want to put it together. And also, when you're building, just kind of the neat stuff that isn't super important, but you get all kinds of different bits. Like here's an older, I can never tell if it's Mark 4 or 6 or whatever, but an older chest piece as opposed to a Mark 7. It's got the Aquila on it. The helmets are all different. Mark 6 shoulder pad. There were some Mark 6 helmets in the box, but my son didn't really like them, so he didn't build them. And when we were thinking specialists, we were able to do all kinds of interesting things. For example, this guy, we had the communications piece left over, threw it on his belt, comm specialist. We're gonna talk about him again in a little bit. We threw a couple extra knives on for the veteran, and I painted his helmet white because they're ultramarines. This guy's got a scope in case we wanted to make him the sniper specialist. We took like an extra tank, so it kind of looks like a bomb, and we gave him a bunch of extra grenades. So hey, demolition specialist, and all kinds of just interesting things like that. You get tons of extra little bits that you can throw on these guys to do, fun stuff with. In addition to that, that's pretty much it. A lot of interesting build options, and you can customize your specialists. And they really weren't that fiddly to put together. The hardest part was when, if you made the guns and you had to get this arm and this arm put together. But there's a lot of good build guides online, and there's a trick to kind of putting the arms together with the gun and then sticking them on the body. We used plastic glue, helps a lot. So, and then again, we had all kinds of extra stuff that we just kind of glued on all kinds of different places with these guys. And again, there's special kind of bits for the sergeants that you can throw on there and do all kinds of neat stuff. So, building. Painting. Space Marines are super easy to paint. These guys were base coat, did a little recess shading and some dry brushing, spent some more times on the sergeants. There's just hundreds of videos out there on how to paint Space Marines. Go check out Sonic Sledgehammer Studios and his How I Paint Things series, and he has all kinds of different chapters, and he even kind of has one of how you can paint any Space Marine quickly, effectively, and easily. So you can get these guys together in very little time. Again, painting Space Marines, not difficult. All right, so it's cost, building, painting. What about gameplay? So this is the point where you have to take everything I say with a grain of salt, because again, this is casual kill teams. I don't do competitive lists, I don't go to tournaments, I don't know all the neat stuff. I haven't spent a lot of money to get things. My son bought these with his allowance money. But I think just from a casual perspective and having guys to get on the table, these guys are really good. Weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3, so you hit a lot. Save 3 up, they're hard to kill, and they have transhuman physiology, so once they get that first flesh wound, it doesn't really slow them down. From the weapon standpoint, what I really like about these guys is not just the bolters, which are just good weapons with good range, but these guys all also have bolt pistols, which means they can shoot while they're in melee, and they can shoot into melee. And if you've played any kill team, you probably appreciate just how important melee combat is, and the ability to lock down people not into melee, but also to prevent other units from shooting you because you're in melee with one of their friendly units. So being able to both shoot the pistol in the shoot phase and then fight in the fight phase, especially for these sergeants that have like the juiced pistols. This guy's got the plasma pistol, and this guy's got a grav pistol. To have really good pistols and really good melee weapons, they're great. So I really enjoy that about them. Now, when we start getting into the more specific weapons, one of the things that's great is this little guy right here. He's got a flamer. Flamers are an auto hit weapon, and being able to hit something without actually rolling a die is pretty cool. And oftentimes you'll be able to make multiple hits because you're going to be rolling die 6 hits. So flamers, really good. All right, now some more specific stuff. Again, I don't get into all the tactics because I don't play a lot. I've only played these guys a couple times, but some things that are worth noting. Let's talk about this guy right here. He's a gunner because he has this rocket launcher, and the rocket launcher is interesting for a couple different reasons. So you can choose the type of missile you want to fire. You can do a frag missile, which is basically a frag grenade, or a crack missile, which is basically a crack grenade. See, the difference is grenades only go 6 inches. That rocket launcher has a range of 48 inches. And even on my slightly larger kill team table, that's longer than the table, which means his half range is 24. It's the max range in a bolt gun. So this guy can hit stuff pretty much anywhere in the table, and most of the time it's not going to be in long range. All right? Take him, and here's the thing about the mechanics. He is a gunner, and it's a heavy weapon. So your inclination is, oh, I'll make him a heavy specialist because he's a gunner, and that's a heavy weapon, and it's kind of what heavy specialists are for. But you don't have to make him a heavy specialist. You can make him a sniper specialist. Why would you want to make him a sniper specialist? Well, because, first of all, he's going to reroll ones. Also, if he is within 3 inches of this guy with the Auspex, he can ignore the obscuredness of obscured units. So he can fire his 48-inch frag grenades or his 48-inch crack grenade, which has a strength of 8 and has armor piercing of 2 and does die 3 damage. Okay, all of that at 48 inches. And he doesn't have to worry about his targets being obscured, and he's rerolling ones. You then go and grab your comm specialist, and if he's within 6 inches of him, he gets +1 on his rolls. Now remember, he's got a ballistic skills of 3. He's rerolling ones, all of his 2s get +1, and now he's hitting. And he's not losing anything for obscured. So as long as an enemy was within 24 inches, you're re-rolling ones and you're hitting on 2s. Now, let's just say in a crazy world, someone's 25 inches away and they're a long distance. Then you spend a command point on his level 1 sniper tactic, and now he's getting +1 from that, +1 from the comms guy. He is ignoring obscured, and he's re-rolling ones because he's a sniper. All right, so you're re-rolling ones, you're adding +2, and you're hitting on 3 or better. So as long as you're not rolling 2 ones in a row, you're hitting with die 6 frag grenades or 1 crack grenade that is punching a hole in anything that's on a kill team table. So, and these are bonuses that this guy, that's a bonus that's gonna be good for anybody. You're not gonna just put it in here just for this dude. Good for anybody. This guy, any one unit, it doesn't have to be this guy, but he can give any one unit +1 to hit. You always want +1 to hit. +1 to hit is amazing. Okay, having a sniper that through a tactic can get +1 to hit, you're always going to run a sniper specialist. So you throw this guy up somewhere, ready him so that he's shooting first, get him close to this guy, get him not even as close, and it can be pretty devastating. All right, so that seems pretty good to me. All right, and that's just one of the combos you can do. Throw in a flamer guy who's getting auto hits all over the place. You know, this guy's basically getting auto hits for anybody on the table for 1 command point at most, maybe no command points. All right, and then, you know, depending on the guys you're playing against, you can get your grav guns, you can get your melta all kinds of fun stuff. And then really, these Space Marines, they're just a good versatile troop no matter who it is that you're playing against. They're good at melee, they're good at ranged, they're hard to kill, okay? And you can get a decent amount of them onto the table. So again, gameplay, I think they're pretty good. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but in my ignorant opinion, I think they're pretty good. All right, cost, check, 34 bucks. Building, all kinds of fun stuff. Build multiple surgeons, multiple heavies, do some interesting customization. Great. Painting, super easy. 101 tutorials. Sonic Sledgehammer Studio has some of the best stuff. You'll get these guys on the table in no time. Tactics, they're pretty good on the table on their own. They can shoot in melee. They can shoot into melee with the pistols. And there's some neat combinations that you can do with your specialists and some of the units that you can really pound some damage into your enemies. Lastly, what about expanding your kill team? Well, so again, you get all these guys in one box, and if you bought another box, you would be able to double this. You'd be able to do multiple flamethrowers. You would be able to do multiple surgeons with combi weapons, and you could combi a flamer. And so with 2 boxes, you could have 2 regular flamers, 2 combi flamers, auto hitting all over the place. You could get 2 rocket launcher dudes. Actually, you can only put 1 per kill team, but you could have another one on your roster. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. And then of all the factions, I think the Adeptus Astartes probably has the easiest time expanding. You could, if you wanted to, spend 15 bucks and get 3 push fit Reavers. My son painted these. And now you got Primaris Marines that have bunches of attacks and 2 wounds. All right. You could spend 15 bucks and get 3 push fit Intercessors. All right, if you wanted something more of a rangey kind of situation. You could spend the 50 bucks and get a box of 10 of either one of these and then have all kinds of other build options. But for 15 bucks, push fit models are really easy, and you get some guys with some bolt rifles, and you get some guys with some heavy bolt pistols, which are amazing, and these combat knives, really good too. Also, with these guys, you could go, and if you just wanted to get a few models, you could get the Space Marine heroes. And you could grab some pretty cool models and add individual guys to your kill teams. My son painted these guys also. And I don't have any, but for 25 bucks, you get a box of scouts. And with a box of scouts, you can get 2 more rocket launchers on your kill team. And you could have 3 of these guys just launching the frag missiles down the field. And you could get some sniper rifles, which do not suffer penalties for long range, and it has the headshot kind of special rule, so you can get some extra mortal wounds in there. So you have all kinds of options right now for how you could expand this. Now, I don't have commanders, but from what I understand, they have the most options for commanders. A lot of neat stuff. And then hopefully Elites is coming out in a month or 2. And though we don't know everything that's in there, we do know that you're going to be able to add the Shadow Spear models. So you can get some Infiltrators and some Eliminators. I'm really excited about the Eliminators and Suppressors. And also Terminators, which these Space Marine heroes, Series 2, are going to be Terminators. And so if you just wanted to pick up 1 or 2 of those guys, that would be an easy fit to get into your Adeptus Astartes kill team. So I think these guys, if you're just looking for a range of a lot of different types of models to build and to paint, to play with, a lot of interesting weapon choices, you can't go wrong with the Adeptus Astartes. So reasonable price for a kill team, lots of options in your builds, super easy to paint, get on the table, solid game mechanics and some interesting combinations you can do with your specialists, and plenty of different ways that you could expand out your kill team if you wanted to. And this is the Adeptus Astartes. I think they'd make a great casual kill team. Talk to you guys later.